Yeah, so Pat, like you're milking 300 cows here, spring calving. I suppose just around that spring period, and obviously for the rest of the year, there's plenty of duties, and there's an X amount or an element of workload on the farm, obviously for more than one person. Would you mind discussing a bit on the staffing structure or labour on the farm?
Yeah, that's no problem. So yeah, we on this farm here we have David here. He's the farm manager, and he's responsible for the day-to-day running of the farm.
Okay.
And then he lives in the house just on the edge of the farm there.
Okay.
And Declan, then he's 2IC at the moment. Yeah, and then there's myself, and I suppose you could call myself the operations manager. So I come in when needed. So and it works reasonably well. We might have a student or two for the spring then as well. But with the three of us, the farm runs quite smoothly. You know, like I do find with a meeting once a week and just a get together and a chat and with staff, and I like to try and keep them involved. I keep them involved in decision makings on the farm, and I always like to hear from them, to hear what they think, of what's working on farm or what's not working on farm. When it comes to, for example, when it comes to just doing the work, or when it comes to ease of work, or when it comes to, oh, this is not working because it's X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
You know, I like to hear back from them because, of course, they're my eyes and ears a lot of the time on the farm. So,
Communication is obviously a big
communication is the key, yeah. And I always like to hear from them, to know what's going on. And I think with them meetings and I like to keep a close relationship with my staff. Like the Green Roads pub is only 200 metres down the road. We'd meet for Friday evening drinks or whatever. It's very important. I think people don't realise how important that aspect of it is, and keeping that relationship. Like over the last 20 years that I've been farming here, I don't think there's anybody that I couldn't pick up the phone to that has worked here and I could chat to them. And a lot of them do call back and do call to see me or call, and I try and keep, because it's about everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. People will say, oh, there's somebody working on the farm and they're not good enough, or they're this, that and the other. But you have to think about it from their point of view.
Yeah.
They're here, they're committing their most valuable resource to you, which is their time. Yeah. That's the most valuable resource they can commit to you. And, so you have to remember that, or I have to remember that. Like I'm paying them, and I expect a certain amount of value from the pay I pay them. So it's a two-way street. It's not, oh, I'm paying you this, so I should, but they're giving me their time.
Yeah.
For the most valuable asset to have, there's nothing more valuable than time. So yeah, that's the way the farm is structured. So yeah, and to be honest, I don't have a lot of issues with staff. Like the man David that's with me at the moment, he's there for the last 2 years.
Very good.
The man that was there before him, Brendan, was there. He was there 3 years. There was other, plenty of guys that here 3 years. We don't have a massive staff turnover, to be honest.
And say that spring period, then you'll have, I assume, relief milkers maybe on the weekends.
Yeah, we try to more and more, and I try to be honest. And what ends up happening is now we do go to a 6-day week. The lads do go to a 6-day week for that February-March period, so they get 1 day a week off. Is generally the way it works, but yeah, and to be honest, I was only having a chat with one of the lads there yesterday about how we need to try and think about now how we can structure this better, so we can have more people. We're even thinking about putting more accommodation on the farm where we'll have more space for students, or get people in for the spring, just for the heavy lifting period. Because the heavy lifting is done from the end of Jan to the end of April even. It's a busy time, it's a busy time. The first 4 to 6 months of the year are the busiest, but that's just, it's the beauty of it as well. Like the farming, dairy farming and the farming we do, yes, it's a lot of work in the spring, but then when you get to this time of the year, you have a lot more free time. And like I try to be as, with staff as well, like Jesus, like, you know, I try to be as accommodating as I possibly can when it comes to time off or when it comes to,
But I suppose, Pat, it all comes back to what you're saying is like you're willing to invest in the business, but more importantly in the efficiency of the business.
yes.
And I suppose the natural or the most common scenario is when people are investing in the farm, they'll always focus on, you know, the shades, the roadways, the cows. But I suppose if it's an effort that you need people to be invested in your business with you, and as you say, they're willing to give you their time, you also look at that element that you're willing to invest in accommodation, trying to make their quality of work-life quality better too.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
And I suppose it's little things, like, you'd be surprised. It's small things to make a difference. It's the fact that you can come to work in the morning in your runners,
Yeah.
and you can go across the yard and go into the cloakroom or wherever and put on your boots and your wet gear and go on.
Yeah.
You know, it's having concrete down, it's having nice that you can walk around the farm, as I said, in your runners. It's stuff like that to people, to farmers in general, and myself included in the past. You don't realise how important that is to people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
The aesthetic, and I suppose the responsibility then when they're working, it brings that responsibility that, look, it's clean.
Yeah.
Clean, it raises the standard.
Well, yeah, you
as well.
try, and don't get me wrong, there's definitely parts of the yard or the farm we could do with cleaning up,
Yeah.
but and there's always is, but you try and keep it relatively clean and tidy and keep things, you know, nice for people when they come in, because that makes a difference. If somebody comes in here for an interview or for a job and they get out of the car and they're straight into a
Pile of muck.
pile of muck,
Yeah.
it's not nice.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
It doesn't, the first impression is not good.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just, yeah, it's a small thing sometimes make the big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's how we staff it. But yeah, there's always challenges. There always will be, and it's no more challenging than any other business.
For sure.
But yeah, look, you have to, you just have to be proactive and to be positive about it. You know, and sometimes just to realise when to look at it from the other perspective, because if somebody's working for you late into the evening or whatever it is, or night, like that's their time they're committing to you, you know, that they could be at home with their feet up or whatever it is, you know, and that deserves respect and deserves to be they deserve to be looked after.
For sure. No,
Yeah.
that's great.